Hello everyone, today I will teach you how to create your first C# script in your Unity project, and I will not waste your time, and let's just start right ahead. So first we need to see what is script in Unity. Basically script is a type of component that you can add to your game object so you can tell him what to do. So for example, you have a door, and to this door you attach the 3D model. This door will just stay in the scene unless you add some script to it. So if you want door to open, you will need to attach the script with the logic to open the door, basically. Also, it's important to know that all scripts are written in C#, which is the programming language that Unity uses. And I just wanted to clear this before we start with the programming. So let's go to the Unity now. So now that we are in Unity, if this is your first time in Unity, you might be overloaded with how many things there is on screen, but it's actually very simple. Here you have a hierarchy, and this is where you basically build your game. This is where you have your assets, and inspector is where you can manipulate with your game objects. Like you can see, I have directional light here. It has a component light, and I can do a lot of random things with it. So I told you what is a script, and today is all about scripts. So we will go ahead and we will create a simple 3D object that's going to be cube, and we will give it a name, moving cube, and you will see later why. So this moving cube right now, if we go into game, it's not much. It doesn't move, it just stays in place, and there is nothing actually alive about it. It's just a 3D cube that stands. But here we can see this cube has a component box collider, has component mesh renderer, and we can always manipulate with this inside of our scripts. So if we want to change the material to set it to be red, we can do that inside of script. So how do we create script? We can come here in our asset folder, and we can create C# script, or we can go to the moving cube, add component, and just type script, new script, and call it moving cube. And now this script will appear, and we will have it attached to our game object already. But if we don't do that, we can remove this component, and if we created it here, we can go to the moving cube and just bring this script here. But now this script, as you can see, box collider has a lot of properties that we can edit, but our moving script has none. So let's go ahead and check how it looks like. So we will open the script. Also, it's very important that you do have your editor for programming. If you don't, you can use either Microsoft Visual Studio Code or just Visual Studio. It's your preference, or if you have another one, of course, just use what you like. But me, I use Visual Studio. So here, when we create our project, we are greeted with a lot of lines, which might be confusing, but it's actually very simple. Here we have using system collections, using Unity engine, etc. This is just libraries that our code is importing, so we can get some of the functions that Unity engine offers. Here we have public class called moving cube, but what's very important here is this mono behavior. And what this means is, it means that this script can be attached to the game object, so it's not just a regular class, it's actually a script that's meant to be attached to an object. Here we have a void start, and here we have a void update. So if you are coming from Unreal Engine, for example, void start would basically mean event begin play, and void update would basically mean update tick. So it would update every frame. And here we have a comment that describes that. So let's try to do the most basic thing, and let's try to print hello world. So we want to print hello world to the console. We will type debug log and just string hello world. And now you see we have an error, and that's very important. We have to always finish with semicolon. So this is very simple way to print hello world, and we can test how it works. Also, this will only work if this cube is attached to the game object that is active in the scene. So here, moving cube, we can go and press play. If we go to the console, we will see we have hello world. That's exactly what we wanted. But let's talk about this inspector. Let's see how we can manipulate this inspector to change some things. So here in the mesh renderer, we can change materials, but let's see if we can make something custom so we can change it from here. So we will create new variable, and this variable will be a string variable. It will be string greeting, and it will be default hello world. And here we will say debug log greeting. So we want to print greeting here. So right now this will work. It's gonna print hello world, but we are not gonna see it in our inspector. So what we can do here is we can type public, and what this public means is that now it's gonna appear in our inspector. So let's see how it works. Make sure you save this. And here we see greeting. So let's try to change the message. This is custom message. And let's press play. Let's see how it works. This is custom message. It works. So as you can see, we can change many things here. We can make a lot of custom properties that we can manipulate our game object here. So we will talk about more advanced manipulation in a second. So I don't want to make this video about programming. I don't want to teach you how to write C#. I just want to show you how to create script, and I expect that you have some basic knowledge for C#. But if you don't know, I will just go over some variables because we will use them in the next example. Here you can see we have an int, we have a float, we have a bool, and we have a string. Int is basically a whole number, like a 2. Float is decimal number, like a 5.5. And the bool is true or false. String we already saw when we typed hello world. String is basically text. So this is just basic variables that you should know for the next example, so you can better understand what is happening on your screen. So let's go back to our script. Now we have moving cube. Let's go back to the moving cube script. So far we just created some basic greeting message, but now I want to make this cube move. I want to make this cube move on its x-axis. So I want it to move like this. Well, how can we do that? Well, this cube is not going to move itself, so we need to give her some rules. So we can go here and we mention this void update, which is called once per frame. We can make some logic here. So we can make logic that we tell the cube, okay, I want you to move this specific amount per axis that I specify. So first I will need to create float. That's gonna be my move speed. And why float? Because if you are gonna create something like a move speed, you might as well create float so it can be very adjustable. So if we go float move speed, if I want this float to be 1.8, I can make it 1.8. So this is good thing about float. If you make integer, you can only set 2, 1, 3, etc. But with the float, I can say, okay, I want my movement to be 1.8 per second. And add f, because this is just a suffix that tells it's a floating number, it's a decimal, and in C# you need to do this. So here inside of our void update, we can use transform, and this is just component that comes with a Unity engine, And every game object has it. So as you can see, even directional light has a transform, even main camera has a transform. So we are just manipulating with the position of our transform right now. So let's go back there. So if we use transform, transform has a function that's position, and we can add, we can plus and equal. This is just a shorter way of typing the code. Or you can just equal transform position plus new vector 3. And what we are doing here is we are adding some directions to it vector, which has a 3 size, x, y, z. Here, as you can see, it already gives us, if we want to move x, we can just do it like this. But I will show you what I'm gonna do here that is better than this. So I will type move speed, but I will multiply it with time delta time. And why I do this is because if you just leave it with move speed without time delta time, it means it will update per frame. So if you have a PC that has 1000 frames, it's gonna update 1000 times per minute or a second. But if you have 60 frames, then it's gonna just update 60 times per frame. So with this time delta time, it's gonna update equal depending on what PC you have. And now I'm just gonna specify Y and Z. I don't want it to move there. And this right now should work. So we just successfully manipulated with our game object transform component. Let's go back to our game, and if we press play, we should see our cube moving now. Let's go ahead and press play. As you can see, the cube is moving, so we are manipulating with it. So this is just a basic that I wanted to show you, and this is just gonna be a first episode about C# scripts, and in future I will teach you more about C# scripts. I just wanted to show you how you can start building up in the C# script. Also, I didn't make this float move speed public, and that's why we couldn't edit it here. But let's say I want to make it public. I make it public, and now I have move speed here. But the good thing about move speed is I can manipulate it while I'm in the game. So if I change this to 5, it's gonna be faster. So when you press play, all changes that you make while you're in the game, as you can see now, I made it 111. If I stop playing, it's gonna go back to default. But if I make the change before the play, and I press play, it's gonna stay like that until I change it again. So this is a good way if you are teaming up with a designer and you are a programmer. You can just make these little custom properties that your designers can play with. So this was all for today. I hope you liked it, and in the future I will create more C# videos like this, just more advanced features. I didn't want to make a lot of content here because it can usually be too much, especially if you're a beginner. So see you in the next episode.